My name is Zolan. You obviously know that since this is the Shop of Wonders, and well, my name is kind of the shop. Tonight, we are not doing our normal weekly madness. We will be doing a little bit of a promotion to start, but we also have a guest, and I like to say special because, well, I am related to them, and we'll be covering, new things, 3D printing and stuff, because they're just getting into it. But before we get to that point, I need to point out the fact that we are not a child-safe stream. We will use sentence enhancers, but we won't talk about politics if we can help it, and we won't talk about religion. But we will say things like, go the fuck away, or where are your fucking parents? Or even the more fun one is, what the fuck? So anyways, that's the intro. Now we'll switch over and start bringing people in. The chat, at the very top is the chat. Hey everybody. So you know me, obviously. We got Greg's Maker Corner here, who's got his printer going, but you'll see he's not in his chair, which I find kind of hilarious. We got Shane, who's always working on who knows what little things. We got Tripod, who actually has somebody in his household who started a new business. And then we have Justin. And the person who's new to 3D printing and in the maker scene altogether, Rydia. So, first things first, of course, the promote. Tripod, you ready?
She's getting her stuff, so she's going to. So I would say let's yield to another person for right now.
Okay. And I forgot about Zach. I'm sorry, Zach.
I'm like,
I did actually.
Just be like,
So, out there in the chat, hi Vince, hi, of course, Non-Fam, who was here for a while now. Hi, Andrew. Andrew's been doing some really cool things as well, which we saw some of last week. Michael Cassell. That's a person I don't even recognize. This Chris. I'm not going to try to say your last name. So somebody must have shared it out. Zach Grisby. I'm not. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, and we have Andrew. Yay!
It's a
so, as I said, at the top is the link if you want to join in here. So Greg is busily working with his Prusa Mini there. Don't know where Shane disappeared to. So for the people who are here right now, let's go through. Shane, got anything you want to talk about?
Right now I'm just trying to get PCB cut up on my CNC router over here so I can continue with my dance pad. That's about all I got going on.
So, for those who didn't watch last week, Shane has been working on his own version of the Dance Dance Revolution pad, following closer to the actual arcade setup. So he's actually using a piece of carbon fiber mesh as a capacitant resistor instead of just having it be an on-off. He can actually do throw. Justin, what you got up to?
Oh, I'm ordering parts, spending money on a Voron build. I know Matt from Jake from State Farm is doing his. Mine's going to be a 350 by 350 by 500. And the price has already gone further than I intended, but I'm sourcing American as much as I can. So, just because I don't want to wait 3 months for the sliver. So, big project, videos to come, and headaches to come as well.
Hey, Groucho, good to see you this evening. Zach, how you doing? What have you been working on?
Taking a hiatus from the maker stuff at home because I'm about to be up to my eyeballs in building 3D printers at work. I got in like a freaking mile of aluminum extrusion today. For some reason, Missimi packaged my 1 meter long verticals end to end in a box. So I got a 7 foot long box today with extrusion in it.
Nice. And Andrew, you always have something new you're doing.
Well, yeah, I finished off my LED light boxes for a few Twitch streamers and some YouTubers that should be coming out. I also did one for Moses as well.
Nice.
Gave him one because he wanted one. But tomorrow I should have another Sidewinder X1 coming in. What is a project One of the other, well, my business partner, he can't figure out how to fix this X1. He's replaced the board, he's replaced everything in the machine, including the power supply, yet the machine keeps coming up with negative 15 on the bed.
And he replaced the bed.
Replaced the bed. He's replaced all the wiring looms and everything. I
I was going to say the thermistor as well.
Yep. Everything. I mean, literally every single part that you could replace on it, he is fitted with a brand new part. So he's stumped. So he sent it to me and he goes, you know what? I've had enough of it. Just keep it. So that means I'm getting a second Sidewinder.
I'm going to say it's PEBCAC.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know, PEBCAC.
I know what that is. IT.
Yep. Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Keyboard and mouse. Yep.
Hey, that's how I get a free printer.
And chair.
Hey, Llama. How you doing?
Yes, PT, what are you up to, man?
Oh, I'm just running a stream. So it looks like Tripod's little one is ready to go.
Well, sort of.
I probably shouldn't be calling her a little one.
No.
Okay.
No, but I'll share her website. I'll explain stuff, and
Yeah,
then
go
she's
ahead.
going to go ahead and so I'll send it out on the chat here.
If you're not a mod, I'll fix that.
Let me see. All right. Well, I'm Tripod's Garage. I have a YouTube channel called Tripod's
Everybody's
Garage.
about mine.
Hang on. I expected that. That's my own fault.
Oh, it went through the URL.
No, not that.
Oh.
People talking over you. Go ahead.
That's okay. Well, I mean, we should all be used to it with if you're remote computing for work, right? So, dog barking and everything.
Anyways.
So, but I have my own YouTube channel, it's Tripod's Garage. It's I wound up getting into 3D printing and stuff. Well, my daughter, she started her own crafting business online. It's called Maddie's Craft Corner, and she does sublimation and stuff with her Cricut and even weaving, and so it's pretty cool. So she's gonna show some of her stuff right here. Let me switch my camera to the secondary, and I'll if it'll work. Didn't detect it, so I may have to drop off and go back on. So
okay.
So
yeah, it looks like you hard locked.
Yep.
Okay, so while you're figuring that out, I'll go ahead and re-unmute everybody. And kick this back over. So while he's working on that, so for those who don't know, Rydia, or if I'm still pronouncing that right, is my sister.
Oh.
My only sibling. And she just started college. And again, well, not again, just started. I don't know. Is it again? It doesn't matter.
No.
It'd be again if it was me. But part of it is you're in a course for 3D printing, and you just ordered your first printer, but have no clue, really.
I sent you down.
So whatever questions you have, you've got people who can answer them now.
Yes.
And I know one of them was dealing with build services because you were asking about the two different ones that were at the Prusa site.
I forgot what that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, brain has not initialized yet.
All good. So
Need more
just
RAM.
to go through a few. This is the TH3D Build Tack Surface.
Mhm.
It's got 3M glue on the other side, so you can pretty much stick it to whatever you want.
Okay.
Llama actually used to swear by this back in the day. I don't know if he still does. You're not muted now, dude. You can talk.
I know.
I have only used this once, and I ended up destroying the sheet, so now I have these ones just sitting.
It's really only good for PLA.
Okay.
It was PLA, but I had too much squish. It was my own fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's.
And then, what they call borosilicate glass. This handles temperature changes better than what a lot of people have been using, which is mirrors and stuff. I also put a PEI sticky sheet on one side, which somebody else can cover later. Then you have the Creality glass, which is also borosilicate, but they put this weird coating on this one side. I ended up sparring the coating at one point. And when I did that, I flipped it over and printed on the backside. It worked great for a long time. It was better than this piece of junk.
Dan's in the green room, by the way.
Oh, Dan's in the green room. Thank you. I did not know that. Hang on. Dan. And then, of course, you have the different types of flex steel sheets.
Yes.
This one's textured. This one's
Flex
smooth.
steel.
But
Everyone here is going to say flex.
I am actually going to stop here because some of these people actually have really good examples of what happens when you don't print correctly on different build surfaces.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of those.
and so a little bit more background here, Redia. Justin, his claim to fame is being on a stream like this and having somebody actually point out to him the fact that his printer was on fire.
It wasn't point out, I heard it.
Oh, no. People said, hey, your printer's on fire.
Well, the video's on my YouTube channel if you'd like to see.
Yes. Which reminds me, everybody here who wants, go ahead, dump your channel out there. If you're not a mod, I will fix that. So, Justin, go ahead and show off what you wanted to talk about here. I will go ahead and pull you up to center real quick.
Thank you. So build surfaces. With the Mini, you only have to worry about 2. You can buy more, but start with the 2. The biggest thing is how to take care of them. Because if you take care of them wrong, you end up with a really messy PEI sheet that looks like this. Scratches, dings, no longer useful just because of the wear on it.
Mm-hmm.
The spatula, whether you have one or not, will make scratches. I'm trying to get some reflection. You kind of see it in the light reflection, which will show on the bottom of your prints. PEI is great for everything but PETG. In my opinion, polycarb nylon, some of the more exotic TPU is not worth using. This is really the best for PLA out of everything.
ABS and ASA as well.
It depends on your use case, yes. The benefit with the downside with this is you can see the bottom layers better than you would with a textured sheet.
Yeah.
I've got so many sheets.
Should I ask how many?
I haven't even counted yet. This one is a sheet of BuildTak PEI and BuildTak. It's 2 separate surfaces. BuildTak is more of a aggressive, not a textured. The problem is when you use it too much, you can see the chip, I don't know there, that decided to wear out. Same on both sides. And that's what will happen on this side with PETG. PETG and PEI like to be very good friends because just something in the PETG, I don't know exactly what. But
so with PETG, it expands more. So I have found if you raise your Z height up by at least 0.1, you'll have less issues with it trying to bond with the actual build surface.
Yes,
and
but then you get warping if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
This is called bonding with the build surface.
Oh.
This is called your Z height, and especially with the Prusa Mini being too low. That will probably not come off unless I spend a few hours digging at it.
Oh.
Sometimes you can print over top of it, and that print will pull it off.
Or maybe even a heat gun, Justin.
Heat gun, I gotta test that.
Heat gun, or just put your bed at
If I have that, I stick it in the oven. Stick it in the oven for a wee bit, and then just get a scraper, peel up one side, and you just roll it, and you literally roll it off of the build plate. Perfect.
So these are the 3 textured sheets from Prusa. I was one of the early orders for the textured sheet, and I got shipped one before they've been released. Of course, since then it's been used. That's this one. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the newest sheet from Prusa, the textured sheet, is not aggressive enough and doesn't grip material enough. Even cleaned really well using a really good adhesion promoter, which is this nanopolymer adhesive. This stuff is liquid gold. But I've had issues. I have friends with this sheet, and they've had issues. and I don't think they went aggressive enough compared to the original sheet. It's less aggressive.
Okay.
Here's a question: what are you getting for a printer where this is even relevant? Because if you're not getting a Prusa, none of that.
She ordered a Prusa Mini today.
Yeah.
Oh.
1 p.m.
So it'll be like next year when she gets it.
Right? 9 weeks. Yeah.
I'm estimating late March, sometime in April.
Yeah,
sometime between
Make
now and when it
10
gets
weeks. I'm
Possibly
just
on
going
my
to tell you from
birthday.
experience, make it 10 weeks.
Yes.
Because
This
the
is
one you see in the corner took 10 weeks.
right. So this is a sheet that you are able to get for your mini. This is multi-stick sheet. This is really highly regarded. Great for almost everything. It is a stickered, textured PEI, so it's great for literally everything, including PETG. It's very nice sheet. Looks great. They actually have black sheets now, which I need to get one. But, and then I'm hoping our good old friends at Printed Solid will release it for the mini, but this is their textured sheet. You can see the aggressive grit on it. This sheet compared to the stock mini sheet or stock Prusa sheet grips everything. And sometimes too much. And you can see a little bit of adhesion right there. Not a big deal. It happens.
A little trick when you get into what he calls PETG, I just say PETG, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Is you can actually clean off your magnetic surface, flip the sheet over, and print on the bare steel with an adhesive.
Yes. Yes, you can.
And then you don't have to worry about destroying the sheet.
Right. And then these are my bigger printer sheets, which
I have heard of some people having an issue doing that with the textured side actually bonding to the magnet.
As a guy who has a mini currently and has both sheets for the mini, your textured sheet is the one you're going to want to play with because that's the one that doesn't have PEI on it. The PEI sheet has PEI on both sides now.
Okay. Yeah, I had ordered it with
I will
both.
show you that, but it's currently being used on the printer because the textured one is having a hell of a time with bonding. So I have to prep the surface a little better.
Texture's good for PETG, but
more noise to me.
I gotta. You know, because
this one's actually quite a thick sticker on it. This one is.
Or you've had yours for a while.
Wow. So this one's meant to be specifically for ABS and PETG. So it has got a thicker PEI, so it doesn't tear through.
Yeah.
The only problem is that you have to run this 15 degrees hotter on the bed.
Okay.
Because the heat transfer for it is pretty bad. But I mean, if you have a look at how thick the actual sticker is itself,
it's really good.
It's beefy. I mean, the plate does bend to try and pull stuff off, but as you can see, it's not as flexible as my other one. I mean, like,
what plate
I've got this one here. You know,
so Llama's wondering what plate that is.
Right, this is the prototype Aerion PEI textured bed. This was the prototype that they did, what I approved of, and went to the manufacturers for them, and then they went and got another manufacturer. So I don't know if they still do the extra thick one specifically for ABS and PETG, but they do the textured sheets. I'm just not too sure if they've got the same thickness. But yeah, this one obviously doesn't flex as much. Because
the TH3D ones are pretty good too for the thicker PEI. I haven't.
And that's what I use.
Yep, it doesn't tear those as easily. I
tore one.
Oh, did you?
Yes, that's why I print on the bare steel now.
Yeah, I haven't managed to do it, but I always put glue stick in between when I'm doing PETG, just to be safe.
I use this on the bare steel, just a couple drops, and smear it around, and I can do like 10 prints. No issue.
I just use Yoo-Hoo Magic, what is basically school kids glue.
Yeah, glue stick.
Not even Magic glue. I don't use anything like that.
Yeah, I use the glue stick as well.
Yoo-Hoo.
When you start printing on glass, if you decide to try glass, which you really shouldn't need to, but if you do, the purple washable Elmer's glue sticks work amazing.
Well, that's
to the point I have a whole case of them. I may send you. I'll send you some because I don't use them anymore.
Yeah, and actually,
the Avery brand I found is better than the Elmer's.
That's right here.
But I've already got a case of it, so
Right?
Yeah.
This came with
Yeah,
my Prusa MK3.
Here's
and I
the
still
problem.
haven't ran out.
Go on. Shipping it to her is probably going to cost you more than if you just bought it off of Amazon.
I'm
Yeah,
already
it's true.
sending her a flash drive and a couple other things, so I can just toss it in.
Yeah, so this is Creality's version of a cheat.
Hang on a
So-
second here.
That looks like Kapton tape there.
Get him over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a glass
there you
bed
go.
person, so
Ah.
this came with the CR6 SE. Well, it didn't come with it, but it's got the magnet. So I
Tripod, go
got
home,
with
you're
the
drunk.
add-ons, so but I don't use it because I
This
I
is my
prefer
new build
glass
surface.
Because I don't have to,
Nice.
because it's
That'll work.
That was good.
because with me with the glass, it's like I'm patient and let it just cool off, and then it pops off. So
Yes, if you ever print on glass and you hear somebody say, "Oh, just lightly tap it on the side or put it in the freezer," tell them no.
no, just let it cool off, and the part will just slide right off.
And
So-
if the part does not slide right off, put a little bit of 99% rubbing alcohol on next to it. It'll fall off.
Yeah, so this is still sitting in the box. I prefer the glass because it's easy to clean and it has to be spotless before.
Andrew's big bottle.
Before every print,
There you go.
every single print, wipe down your bed with that.
Yep.
IPA.
Yeah, not every single, but
I actually,
I do
Andrew,
every single
I heat up my
item.
bed a little bit, and then I do the IPA on it. So
Yeah, I mean, I do mine when it's cycling through the heat, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter if you do it whilst it's heating or not, but I usually just wipe it down because, I mean, I do it every print, and this is religious because I've had it where I've done a print, it came out absolutely beautiful, and pulled out a second print, and it's came out absolutely terrible, and I've been like, what's wrong? And it's been like a very thin film. Now, here's the thing. Everyone knows it. Your fingers are greasy. When you go to pull off a print, you put your palm down or your fingers on something and you lift it. And basically, it had 4 fingerprints exactly where my fingers were, and that's where the print messed up.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I didn't-
after that, I do it religiously now.
I didn't clean the bed on mine for like a week,
Fingers.
and I was like, every print was failing. I'm like, so I actually just brought it into the house and washed it with soapy water, and
And here's a good one. If anyone ever uses hairspray or glue stick, use shampoo, standard hair shampoo, the one without conditioner, tiny drop
Yeah.
and some water. Will clean it absolutely perfectly.
And you're close. You're close. I suggest something similar, but instead of shampoo, 1 drop of Dawn dish soap.
yeah, I was gonna say I use Dawn.
Dawn will do it to you.
Yeah.
So. And plus,
I
it's
just
what's
use
good.
water for glue stick, but I'm cleaning it off of glass. So the cool
Those
thing about the
chains will-
purple glue stick is once it's heated up, it goes white or
Yep.
clear. And then, like if you spray it, if you've got like a white rag or a white paper towel, once you spray it, you can see it come off and it's purple.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is what the Creality
Cat tax.
this is what the Creality glass looks like.
She's speaking.
There you go. Yep.
Ah.
That's actually the glass that I was showing earlier.
Yeah.
Ah,
And so a lot of people will flip it for the smooth side, and you got the textured side. So once it, again, I'm a fan of this. I may not be
destroyed the texture side.
I may
actually
not be a
killed it.
fan of their printers, but I think their glass works really well. And like I said, I wait for it to cool down, and you just hear the cracking, and just as it cools of the part, and it just slides right off.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's
we
another
realize
way.
that's an any cubic thing. Any cubic
Yes, it
thing
is.
that came up with that bed, the glass.
So one thing you're going to learn about 3D printing is there's a million ways to do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Learn the easiest way for you. Learn the way
And
that
the
you
best
learn.
way,
And a million ways to fail at it too.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that from a bit of research that I had done even before I had signed up for this class.
So you want a fun one? Here you go. Everybody who's currently here, what slicer do you use?
Idea maker.
Idea maker.
Idea maker.
Simplify 3D.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
free.
I'm using
So-
both.
Well, he asked
you're
what
learning is
slicer.
use what works for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or-
Simplify 3D in like
Don't try to
2015.
do what everybody else tells you.
Or what her tells her to use for that specific project.
The one that he is having us use for anything that's
Sure.
printed is Kira Lulzbot.
Yeah. Oh.
I've only
Yeah,
used
that's
Kira.
a little bit old.
The face and the was you specifically said Lulzbot.
Yeah.
That's why.
Ask him.
I noticed there's
By
two
your
different
spot.
Kiras. Not sure if it's from the same company, but there's two different ones.
No, they're the same. Okay, so
Yeah.
like Creality, the slicer, the Creality slicer they ship is just an old version of Kira that they tweaked.
Yeah, they throw their branding over it.
Kira
and
is
That's
Kira.
all it is. Kira is
Okay.
Kira.
All right.
Okay,
And
so
go ahead.
this will be helpful for her, but I want you guys to fight to the death on which free slicer is the best, because I need to figure out which free slicer I'm going to use with my
Zach?
work printers.
Idea
Zach?
maker.
What am I printing?
I'll be honest with you.
It matters on what I'm printing. If I'm printing something with a ton of overhangs and I don't have the time to draw my supports, tree supports and Kira.
Yeah.
Tree supports and Kira. But if I have time,
To work right.
Idea maker.
idea
I-
maker. But if I'm doing multicolor, Prusa.
Yeah.
But Zolan, I have to disagree with the tree supports have failed on me more than once versus the regular
me
supports of Kira.
I've had
Oh,
no
come
issues
on,
with the
dude.
tree supports.
I never
Neither
got
have I.
to
know
know
it
it
for
for
a
work
Super
one.
slicer.
Really?
All right, I'm going to interject
see?
because my arm's getting tired. I'm trying to show
Yeah,
this
I've
thing
noticed.
off. And,
Hang on. Here you go.
So in the middle here, so Pet G, this is glass.
Is that Kapton tape?
Kapton tape's on the back.
Okay.
But this right here, this is just it just took chunks out of it. So if you do print Pet G on glass, you got to make sure you have some sort of interface layer, because if you do get, I don't know if I was a little bit too close or just the glass just decided I had enough, but that's what happened there. Also, if you're having problems, blue tape. Don't be afraid of the blue tape. People are like, "Oh, blue tape, blue tape."
Blue tape for the win!
Yeah.
It's that's the thing is with the
Painter's
community.
I haven't used
I have a
blue tape
whole-
in like a year.
I have a giant roll of painter's tape.
Work what's
No,
for you.
No.
specifically
Oh.
3M 2090.
Yeah. Painter's tape. Very
Yeah,
well.
and I'm using something slightly different, but it's pretty much the same thing. So,
So,
it's
one thing
a
that-
high quality.
The 2090 has a really nice texture on it that
Okay.
doesn't transfer
Yeah.
to the print as much.
You're gonna get a lot of arguments online, right?
Oh,
Ignore
yeah.
them all. Do what
Yeah.
works for you.
Yes.
Some people do
Yes.
glue sticks. Some will use, painter's tape. Some will use
Yeah.
hairspray. Some people like me don't use any of it.
It's
I-
called
Yeah.
take advice
there-
and find out what works.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one of the things though is like there are some materials that like to
201
stick to each
plus.
other a little bit more. So do learn those a little bit, just so like glass and Pet G, like a lot of people have problems with it. So it's
So we can
That's
actually
the
roll
one time
back.
you
I
can't
know
use
we keep mentioning all these other materials,
Yeah.
but I can pretty much bet with fairly good confidence that she'll only be using PLA for probably the next 6 months.
Yes. And PLA is what
Polylactic acid.
at my college.
yeah, and
It's cornstarch,
But,
basically.
Then we got to start talking quality.
They're not going to use anything else because PLA is the safest when it comes to VOCs too and all that kind of
Yep.
crap.
Yeah, it's the safest.
Ooh.
That
So
was all
temperature
Idea Maker
changes,
support.
Want me to do it?
And that was full supports, and it came off absolutely beautifully. And this is on a 0.6 nozzle, and all the teeth have came out and everything. So
What's that?
Which one? The hitch-
He's
Idea
Maker.
showing a print that he did with Idea Maker's.
I mean,
supports.
you can see obviously the interface layer there
Yeah.
is not the worst. I mean, this is on a 0.6 nozzle,
So-
it's bigger than usual.
We're gonna use 2.6.
So Andrew, since you said the word, I'm going to have you explain it. Interface layer.
Right. So when you've got something that isn't flush and you need to have supports, you'll have if you're going to do it, sometimes people will use it. I don't personally, but you can. It's called a raft. So you can put a raft underneath it, which means that the printer will lay down a layer first and then start printing your support. So say like, here's the bed. Now this has got this big bit at the back right here. So I need to print this like this, what is floating above the bed. So I need supports on it.
Yes.
When it prints, it will start printing the support. And as it comes up to this piece up here, 1 or 2 layers, as it comes up to about there, it does what's called an interface layer. What is basically a solid layer, like the raft did, or like it's filling the inside piece, but it's got a layer that it can peel away from. So it will do a solid, then an interface, then a solid, then an interface. What means that when you come to pull it off, it has a certain amount of gap between the top layer and your interface layer. What means that you can basically grab onto the supports and pull it off. Not all the time do they come off as easy as that, but I found with Idea Maker they do. You literally can just grab it and pull it off. So your interface layer is just the layer that is in between the main piece and the supports.
And you can adjust the interface layer thickness and other things, which you sometimes need to do when you're running odd types of PLA, like your silks or your PLA Pro versus normal. Sometimes you need to change that interface layer. By the way, Groucho, since I didn't say it, but I did put it on the stream there for a moment. Congrats on the job. So, anyways, yep, he got a new job, which is awesome. Okay, so we covered interface layer supports. There's, as they've all said, there's so many different things. But what other questions may you have?
All right, here.
What the heck is I can't remember what it was called. HTPLA.
High temperature PLA.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just higher temperature, a little stronger.
Okay.
It resists
Has a higher temperature.
That's an interfacing layer.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's the support at the bottom, and that's your interfacing layer. And as you can see, it's got some solid but slight empties, and it means that you can peel it off.
Okay.
HTPLA is a slightly different resin that resists heat better than PLA. The big downside of PLA is it's got a real low melting point.
The downside with HTPLA, you have to print it hotter.
Yes, but it's still like printing PETG without the issues of PETG. It doesn't string as much, blah blah blah. But it's fine. The big thing is, and you're going to learn if you're going to print stuff, like you're going to print it at home and bring it to school with you, do not leave it in your car if it's PLA, because if it sits in the sun, it'll be a puddle on your dashboard when you go out there.
So
PLA has a very low melting point.
She doesn't have a car, and she lives on campus.
Yeah.
Let me give you a real interesting anecdote about
PLA out in the sun. It's a very low melting point. That's the whole point of HTPLA. It's a little more heat resistant.
PLA at 98 degrees starts to get to a moldable stasis. What means that it is starting from a solid closer towards... Hang on. 95 Celsius. Celsius. Yeah, sorry, Celsius. I keep forgetting American. Yeah. So 95 Celsius. So basically, when it gets past that stage, it becomes into more like what they call a morphing plastic. What means that it's changing states from where it's going from a solid to soften up, and then it will push past that. When it hits about 105 degrees to 110 degrees C, that's when it starts to become really, really soft. And once it starts to get a little bit past that, what is 111 and 112, that's when it is superiorly just deformed. Basically, you'll be able to grab both hands and push it, and it will squish.
Okay.
Let me give you an interesting anecdote about PLA. Back when I first started 3D printing, what informed my printer decision was I needed to print ABS, because I was 3D printing vape mod parts. And so the thing with that is the battery holders were 3D printed. That was the main thing that were 3D printed. And people were buying PLA battery holders and putting lithium-ion batteries in them and leaving them in the car. And the battery holder would go soft, short out, and catch on fire.
Yep, I vape myself, so
this is fully 3D printed.
Oh, cool!
This is ASA. This is why I'm into 3D printing.
Yeah.
Dan actually
ran my own business for a long time with this.
That's cool.
It's my logo there that I don't.
Yeah.
Use anymore.
So got her. Gave me the pillow for you to...
Awesome.
So she just made this took a few minutes.
Wow.
Sublimation.
Yep. So
My
And,
sublimation
and then
machine's
she's
over
like,
there.
"Oh, there we go, tripod." So,
Vinyl
That's
cover.
cool.
yep, I know. And then
And that's an etch.
So she just got her sublimation stuff behind her. That's Maddie. Turn around and just wave hi. Daughter, she's 21, so she's old enough to know better, but still young enough to don't give a shit. So
Don't worry.
Well,
I'm
and
10
then you'll
years older
become
and I'm
old
still
enough
the
to
same
not
way.
care.
yeah,
Yeah,
so that's why I said
just
don't give a
right.
shit instead. So yeah, so Justin found the shirt that he liked right away on there, and I'll be doing a live stream with the real Sam Preston. He does Android robots for Star Wars in the next week or two. I've been on it. We've done a live stream before.
So when you get ready to do that, you need to let me or Marcel Roberts know, because we're both part of the Star Wars Droids groups on Facebook.
Okay, so
And we
yeah,
we can pimp your stream out there for you.
Yep, and I'll well, I usually when I do a live stream, I give at least a week's notice. So we're good friends. So we do collabs together. So
So
yeah,
everybody who needs custom products for the next couple weeks or whatever else, or longer, it's up to you. Go to Maddie's Craft Corner. Let's make her get overworked.
yeah.
Also,
So,
a good thing,
she'll be
tripod.
doing she'll be doing
Uh,
coffee mugs and shot glasses, and she can do anything that you want. If you have a logo or something, she could basically print it out. Kind of convinced the wife of getting a hopefully a 50-watt laser, but I need to upgrade my electrical in the garage. So I'm running a 15-amp breaker, basically on the whole front of the house. So I can't even run a heater and a 3D printer almost at the same time.
Which one are you going to go with, laser wise?
I am probably going to do Orion.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah, it's most likely the 50-watt. So
Cool.
40 will cut through almost anything nicely.
Yeah.
So
I've got a 45 watt. So
yeah, and so
How much do those run?
well, it depends on where you get it, right? So I want to go where I don't have to go to a shipping port to pick it up. That's the biggest problem, right? So when you get one of these Chinese lasers like Orion or something, sometimes you can get them through Amazon, and that's probably the best way to do it. So because the shipping is what kills you, it's the freight, and then you go on eBay. Oh yeah, it's $1,600, but then you have to arrange for it. You have to do everything for the port access and shipping and picking it up, and then having a trailer. I have 2 trailers. And a truck. I have no problem picking the thing up, but then it's like getting it here and unloaded. So yeah, it's
And for people who want to get signed vinyl from Maddie or anything else, and you're worried about its longevity or anything of that nature, please don't worry about it, because that's 4 years old, and that's signed vinyl.
Yeah, so it's just harsh chemicals, like going in a dishwasher with abrasive. You don't really want to do that much of. You're gonna want to hand wash it for the vinyl. So that's why I kind of encouraged her to go with the sublimation. She's got this whole setup now over here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what time she's running on it? I used to actually own a sublimation company. Actually, I technically still do, but do you know what time she's running on it? Is it the 60 seconds?
The temps vary between materials.
Yeah.
So it's going to range anywhere from like 325 for like a t-shirt to 400 for a mug.
If you want to look up something really cool, it's what we started doing a while back, and they sell like hotcakes. It's a sublimation paint, and you paint it on and just get slates, standard roofing slates. You can get any size you want. But the cheapest way I found it is going to a nickel and dime store and picking up the heart-shaped coasters, paint the sublimation paint over the top of it, and stick your sublimation picture onto it, stick it in, press it.
Yeah, because
we used to
right
play
now
them like crazy.
we got the Epson.
Be careful with that also, because some of those paints, the VOCs they let off are nasty.
Yeah, you got to look at which ones you get.
So like we have an old toaster oven in a crawl space. I said, clean it. And that's it. You can't be used for anything else after that. So
yeah,
and it's with where are I going with this? The sublimation. So we got a Epson EcoTank printer, and we even fill up. We just filled it brand new, right with the sublimation ink. for her. So yeah, it's
I've still got a Canon 3000, I think it is, behind me, sublimation printer.
I have a
Just sitting there.
Sawgrass sublimation printer in my shop, as well as a Ricoh laser transfer printer.
Yeah, and it's amazing now that you could just get like an Eco Tank now
Yep.
and just do it. But the problem is you're still limited to the size of the paper. So eventually she's gonna probably want to get a larger format. But again, you see, you want to have the benefits of having refillable, canister.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not refillable. Mine's the ink cartridges, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
It's
hey,
older.
Chris, just reach out to Maddie on her, and she'll cut it for you and send it to you.
Yep.
So, yep. So she's gotten really good at all this stuff. She's got some good orders on her website.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I got into it as well. So I actually tried to start a t-shirt and customs shop. I have all the gear, did it for about a year and a half, and then realized it was just too much work for me. Mainly, I hate clients. I hate dealing with people.
Yeah.
Remember that.
But if she needs any help, let me know. I also, the Shop of Wonders Facebook page, if you scroll way back in time, you can see some of the stuff I was doing.
Yeah, it's when I told her about my interest, because it was originally when I started doing YouTube, I was going to get 3 machines or do 3 machines. I was going to get my 3D printer. Then I was going to build my own CNC machine, because to me that's still the most cost-effective way.
Yep.
And having quality components, and buy a laser engraver. So it looks like I'm going to be doing the laser engraver first, because then it'll help her with actually doing, instead of the chemical.
Yes.
Instead of doing the chemical, which still works great, but it doesn't, and it won't come off. It's just that it will, with the laser, it's just.
It's cleaner. What comes
etching.
off of it, you don't have to worry about as much.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it not. Yeah, there's the post process of the chemical etching is.
And
But
she's got it down to science now, and
It's like working with a resin printer, really.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris. She'll get the notification. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I have a request. If does anyone here, because I'm not having great results with this on Twitter. That's why I decided to open up my account, is to get a logo designed, because I'm tired of the silhouette of the one.
Oh, we lost Greg.
Yeah, Greg said he had to go. He had something to do. And Tripod, to answer your question, I'm waiting patiently for Do It Tim to redo a logo for me. So maybe contact him and see. I know he said his wife loves the idea of let me know your basics and let me run with it. So if you're okay with that, get
I'm
in
sorry. This girl is just. I showed Dan the stuff, and it is just. I'm sorry. It's just people don't get what I want. It's just pretty. It's not that difficult.
Whoa! What's that?
Someone's got a
rumbling
hum going on.
Oh, nice.
It's my pump for my boiler. That's actually quite
okay.
surprising that you can hear it.
It was a deep.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
not
Basically, we've got a heat exchange built into it. So it's a 97% efficient recycling system that's got in it. So the heat goes up, it condensates, and then comes down a pipe, goes through a pump, and gets recirculated through the boiler. So it means that it's not wasting electricity and hot water. Mm-hmm.
So I reach out to this girl on Twitter, and she sends me logos. Right, not too bad. I'm like, hey, these look pretty good, right? Okay, I'm like, okay, pretty darn nice. Okay, so I said, okay, can you? I sent her pictures of me, right?
Cool. And
then I said, okay, whoops. And then I did the full shot. I said, hey, okay, I want something. I'll scroll through here. I want something that's full body, because it's one-legged dude doing shit.
Right.
So it's part of my, channel. And so then she kept on sending me stuff, and then she sends me this. What the hell is that? I'm like,
I did.
yeah. So then I'm like, no. I said, okay. And then I was like, she's like, what do you think? I said, not exactly what I was looking for. So I said, here. So I went onto the web. I said, here, stuff like this. Okay. I'm looking for cartoon type stuff, right? I said, fine. You know what? She's kind of lost it. So and first off, she had to. Then she sends this. I'm like, you got the wrong leg amputated. But you're getting it. Okay. So
you covered up your mic there, but I think we heard it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you got the wrong leg.
Obviously, the wrong leg.
Yeah. I said, oh, fine. So I found a caricature that was done with me at Great America. You know how they just do those drawings, those carnival type drawings. Yep. So I sent her this. I said, this is something. That's when I had hair. Something I'm looking for. Okay. You know, the guy was really good. Did it in 10 minutes. She's like, oh, that's inspirational. I said, okay, now you got it. Bolder the better. Okay. So what does she do?
Oh, jeez.
She increases the head.
I bet you she's using like an application on her phone, and that's all she can do.
Yeah, so you notice how the head's tilted, right?
Yep.
If you go back to my original picture,
it's the same picture.
Yeah, so all she did was get a cartoon body, right? And then look at this. So head tilted and everything.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, it's like
sounds like you went to Fiverr.
No, just Twitter.
Oh, I know, but that's what I mean. That was the joke.
Yeah. So, and the thing is it's not like I don't have talent.
Tripod the tool man Taylor.
I did this painting when I was.
Hang on.
I did this painting when I was 19. Okay, oil painting. The problem is I could do faces, but not cartoon faces of someone. I could do a self-portrait, no problem. You ask me to do a cartoon of myself or anyone else, no. Okay. I could do a portrait perfectly.
She's not here, but I have a friend who does custom work. She's who did my Shop of Wonders logo. So she did the logo that's on my stickers and everything. She does it live with you on stream, so that way you can help guide it. And she's really good, and that's Nat.
Well, and that's the thing. I said, throw stuff in there. Throw some me holding tools and stuff because it's Tripod's Garage. I'm not just about 3D printers and stuff. I do everything that's a one-legged guy, motivational, try to get handicapped people to do, right? So, and she got I said, a drill, a hammer, stuff. And so as someone was saying, is that Tripod as Toolman Taylor? Yes. So pretty much. But yeah, it's like, girl, sorry. You exactly what whoever said it, that they're just using something on the phone and to just convert my face and then throw it on a cartoon body. You know, I said, what you give me all those things that you supposedly do that look great, and then you give me this shit. So
false advertising.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, at least it wasn't Blue Potion Co.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry, that's Maddie's Craft Corner and my little rant on the side. So again,
all good.
Yeah, so I thank you, Zolan. I just got your tweet. So
yep.
So yeah, it's she's just beginning this, and she's expanding her portfolio. So
always
to correctly put it. So all right, so now let's go back to your 3D printing questions. So I think I'm probably the besides you, I think I'm I'm 1 year and a couple months in. Let's go around and see how long everyone else has been printing for, including the chat.
Shane?
Go down first because I actually have to look up when something was released. Even I don't remember.
So about 14 months for me.
I actually don't know. I'd have to do the same thing he's doing.
All right. So Justin said 4 years.
A little over 4 years. I bought my first printer on.
They're actually looking at their invoices.
On November 13th, 2016. I had printed previously to that at like the library. And then the library was, I'd have to sit there. So I'm like, no, I'll buy a printer.
Yeah.
So I bet
I'm going to go with Mir Andrew's been doing it the longest. Because he's been doing it almost as long as me, I think.
Right.
How long you been?
If you go,
About 6 years, 7 years.
If you go off from when I built my first doodler machine, what got me into 3D printing, what is basically building 2 CD drives together with a pen and it drawing, I did that back in 2016. My first ever off-the-shelf store-bought printer. Yeah, basically they put lasers on them. Yeah.
Yep. 2 CD drives.
For my first ever store-bought off-the-shelf printer was 2014.
Hey, Viking. Hey, Kit.
But I had built a 3D printer back in 2011. So technically, I've been doing it for 8 to 10 years, so if you class it from there.
July 19th, 2019. That's when I got my first printer.
So, year and a half, huh?
Yep.
So that I thought, okay, so far I'm in number 2 spot for being in the stream, not including the chat.
Yep.
I think I got my first printer around Christmas 2014.
That's when I got mine. I bought myself one for Christmas 2014.
What did you get?
The M3D Micro.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
imagine that, and I'm still doing it.
I had a DaVinci XYZ 1.0, and like within weeks, I had flashed it to Repetier firmware.
Yeah.
Dan might actually have tripod.
I went through 3 of them in 3 months.
Really?
What did you get your first printer, Dan?
It would have been
a year
December
ago?
of 2017, January 2018. Sorry, so 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
See, I had a feeling I was gonna be the one closest to you. So yeah, so
yeah, no.
So, and Chris Dritz is saying 2.5 years for himself. BCK actually since March. So we got somebody who's actually less than a tripod here. Chris Travis is 2.5 years.
You know what I find amazing, and I mean in a good way, but that they actually have college courses now on 3D printing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That is freaking cool.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Yep. The one that I'm taking is a combo of 3D printing and Arduinos.
Oh,
Also electronics.
Yeah. It's called Physical Computing in the Arts. Definitely an interesting name.
Yeah, see, I was
However-
thinking about going back to school for CNC and for welding.
Yeah.
So
I am
Arduino.
Yep. I am working on my
Everybody pulls out breadboards.
Hey, that's how my DDR pad is set up.
Yep.
Yep. I get to work with Arduino in 2 weeks. Yay.
So if you want to do cool things with Arduino, the Arduino, the last numbers are 328U4. They work as a HID controller, so you can use that as a keyboard, you can use that as a mouse, joystick, do all sorts of stuff with it. Those are the boards to get if you want to do kind of fancy stuff with that.
Or get a Teensy in any one of them. They do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is where my hobby has led me. This is fully designed by me, built by me. There's very, very little on this machine that I didn't design myself.
I've built way too many printers.
Well, see, the person we need to get in here about building printers is Mr. Viking. Because he's got his 600 by 600 millimeter build plate or something like that.
Right.
Mine's 500 by 500 by 500.
Yeah.
And that's that cube there. That is completely been
see, I bet you
built by me. So.
I bet you everyone else is running Octopi but me and the person.
Yeah.
So I just got my. So I just got my starter
Pi
kit.
4 starter kit. Yep.
So
the printers I'm building at work are 415 by 415 by 495.
Yeah, this one over here that you can't see. That's what was that? Llama, what was that?
I was just asking if that was the print volume or the printer size.
No, that's print volume.
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
So yeah, when we rattle off these numbers, 9 times out of 10, we're talking about volume, not the actual printer size, because the printer size is always bigger.
Yes.
Unless
ridiculous.
Unless, of course, you want to do the
teensy tiny little one.
that was a $20 Facebook find.
Oh, I hate those red boards. Those red boards were the bane of my existence.
Oh, I'm putting an SKR in that. I am not dealing with that board.
I got one of those around
MKS
here.
Gen L fan.
You want to send it to me?
I
Be
like
my
it.
guest.
Yeah.
I have SKR boards here, which is why.
I've got loads of Gen Ls, 1.4s, 1.6s. I've got the
I kind of
original
like the Gen L better
Dev
than the
ones.
NPR, to be honest with you.
So yeah, talking about the printer being bigger than the build volume, that 495 build volume is in this case a 1,030 millimeter tall printer. That means less than half of the height of the printer for the build volume.
What are you making, a
Or
Delta or
millimeter.
something?
Millimeter.
So you said meter.
Yeah.
So we're all sitting
I
there
have-
going, holy crap, 1,000 meter tall printer?
I might
printer.
have slurred millimeter. You might not have heard it.
Oh, I so want to put this on, and yet I so don't want to deal with putting it on.
So I'm
Yeah.
surprised Llama didn't ask yet.
Holy cow.
650, 650.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
Ooh, I was gonna ask, but I was waiting.
Yeah.
But it's not running yet.
Oh, it's printing.
I saw the fan like dangling on the bed.
Yeah, I was trying to get it to stop being all wobbly on that side. So I had to plug the fan in.
Hmm.
It was like,
So you just have the fan dangling there.
yeah, if I want to print Pet G on here, I have to print it with a fan on it.
Well,
I
I
can't-
think the fans, you can use the fans I got you. They'll work as long as the fan's running.
Hey!
Yeah,
No,
someday I gotta
no.
do my giveaway.
And nobody said the 3 famous words to
Penis,
summon him.
penis.
Hey, John.
Yeah, someday I'm gonna have to do my giveaway because I got so much stuff in my garage that I still.
Yeah, tripod. I can't win your stuff if you don't give it away.
I
Hey,
know.
I found a picture. Hey, Zolan, I found
You can't take the crap out of your garage if you don't give it away.
I found a picture of John Mac's cat.
So, real quick, since it's, again, printing new.
Nice.
Oh, dude, that is good. I like that.
So, we,
My wife
we
did
all,
that.
my,
Oh, God,
my
I
sister's
love-
eyes kind of glazed over there for a moment when we started rattling off different printer boards.
Yes.
So
Which
I
is
mentioned
mean,
SKR, you talked about the red board. So I'm still new enough to the electronic side. I'll let somebody else explain that.
Yes, please do.
Oh man, you're gonna do that? So, well, like I did I'm new too.
Take care, Dan.
So I learned
Oh,
off
I'm
of
not
watching
leaving,
like.
I'm
Oh, you're waving. Okay.
Yeah,
So I
waving
learned
at
off of
Justin.
watching like Chris Rukowski's channel. Okay, because the guy could fly through
What?
configuring a board so quickly. Everyone waving?
I don't know why we're waving,
I
but
don't
sure.
know.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's a
waving at
wife on
Zach's wife.
camera.
Yeah.
It's a wife on camera. Hi, wifey.
So I've done 2 board upgrades, but
She's
one
not
I
waving.
went through and did a.
They're
So-
ignoring us.
So
Everybody
I
should stare at them and wave until they notice us.
yeah.
Zach's like,
I was telling her about y'all laughing at her drawing.
Hey, I want to know, is his name Scrotal? Because
So-
Scrotal would
so-
be a fitting name.
Lacey, she wants this into something 3D printable.
Oh,
And I do not have the time to try to model that.
He does.
And
He
that's-
just doesn't
that's-
love me.
That's not my expertise. I'm
That
not
is
good.
that is a llama thing. You need to
Yes,
send that
llama
to
can do
Llama
it.
and let him make it happen.
Well, and I was just thinking Maddie could put that on a coffee cup for her.
yes. Yes, she could.
That would not be hard at all. She just has to scan it in.
that
Hey,
is
can you
so
engrave like a water bottle?
She could do a water bottle and or a coffee cup. or but coffee cup would be more durable.
Well, like
So-
the water bottles that have this like powder coated.
Oh yeah, but it'll be
Oh,
vinyl. It'll be vinyl
It'd be
instead.
vinyl at that point.
Oh yeah.
So it just won't be. It will. You just won't throw it in the dishwasher, but hand wash, you'll be
Have a
fine for a long
dishwasher,
time.
of course.
And John Mack can actually embroider it on something.
Yep.
So
John Mack,
Matt can embroider it on something.
Do you want it on a hat?
Yeah. yeah.
I want it on a pair of men's boxer briefs.
if it's polyester,
polyester,
Yep.
sublimation with Maddie.
Yep, her site's in the chat. She'll do it.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
I
on the
saw
front
John-
or the back.
They know
Or
you're
both.
going to get that right.
I saw John Mack said that the adult 3D printing groups made it already. Do you have a
Yes.
link to it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on
I got
Coach.
Made the peanut, but
Oh,
I made
that-
it better.
that
I made it a
girlfriend-
fake.
That
Give me a
Facebook
second.
group is insane. I'm part of it.
Let me get it.
I am
Hold
as
on.
well.
I need a link to that.
Yeah, but they will-
Facebook 3D printing adult. You'll see it.
Yeah.
3D printing adults only. I got you. Give me a second.
I can't see.
There he goes.
Go ahead and get in the group.
Why is Dan all coded
Yeah.
out?
Hey, Zach, we're friends on Facebook, ain't we?
No.
Hey, Jester.
Dude.
Oh.
What the hell?
Oh,
You want
by
to
the
do a
way,
phone call? I'll drop it in private chat. Hold on.
Actually, Zach, you need to work with Maddie because apparently Marcel wants to buy the shirt.
There you go. It's in the private chat.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm not
say,
sharing it with everybody. I'm not going to be responsible. I'm not
Yeah.
aiding and abetting one's.
Even with him going incognito ninja mode there.
Exactly. You guys can't see me. I'm wearing camo and I have my face covered. You don't know where I'm at in this camera right now. I could be right here
so
or right here. You'll never know.
when I cannot ever share my phone when on my Facebook feed because of that group. So,
yeah, no kidding.
it's funny as hell what some of these people are
Some
printing
of the
out.
crap they come up with.
If you ever want to just get a chuckle, you just scroll through that, and they're
Oh, yeah.
dirty, they're fun.
I'm
If
here
you
for
ever
it.
wonder
That-
what things
Chris-
look like with
a lot of
penises
them,
on them that didn't
Chris-
have penises before, great group
That is
to
an
be in.
understatement. When I first joined that group over a year ago now, almost 2 years ago, it was nothing but Dickosaurus.
Yes,
There's actually a lot of porno
Yeah.
stuff on there. People are posting a lot of, actual nice regular everyday prints on there too.
yeah,
Finally,
well,
yes.
but and they do like some Disney princesses.
Do not, if you join that group, do not report anything because if you do, you're banned.
Dude,
Right
half,
Yeah,
dude,
the whole
half of
idea
my
is
groups
it's-
on Facebook are like that. It's like you join the group and like if you report anything in this, you're banned immediately.
So Zohan was talking about SKR boards. So let's get
Yep.
back on the subject for the learner over here. So
Yep.
Please do.
who else besides me has
But they're
modified and gone through everything to replace a board to SKR?
I've replaced
That
Do
one,
an SKR
that
now.
one, and that one.
I've got one there, and then most of the printers can see.
every printer I got.
Yeah. So basically,
Nice.
the problem is with the
Here. I even have proof.
No,
I got the rubber duckies.
yeah.
I got a whole handful of them here.
Yeah. I even
Here's the thing: she bought a Prusa, so she shouldn't be.
She's not going to
replacing-
be.
she
dealing
should be
with that.
fine.
Yeah.
Still good to know, regardless, though.
I even got a
What?
full set of 55160 TMC
Yeah.
drivers here.
Not that that's all you're gonna have, because if you enjoy doing it, like all of us, you're gonna end up with multiple printers.
The only
Drop another
reason
drop, by the way,
the only
guys.
reason you learning control boards is a good thing is if you decide to either build your own printer or buy a used one from someone.
Yeah. So even with the CR6 SE, I replaced it because this printer, brand new, Kickstarter, not that great. The board is a crap board in there. Even though it's got 32-bit 2209s in there, it's prone to catching on fire. So
When did I order 2130s?
That's the printer that ANET got to pass the Fire Stick off to Creality.
yeah. Yeah.
That's actually so sis, I am not sending you the Ender 3 behind me because I know for a fact that Prusa Mini is not going to burn your dorm down.
Yeah, and with me being in college housing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Part
So
of
it's
it was a space
everyone else's
concern.
misery.
Yeah, I mean, so I've been just going with Big Tree Tech. You know, there's other manufacturers out there. You know, I've had good luck with them. Some people do and do not like them. You know,
I have had issues with a couple. I've had 3 Big Tree Tech things show up that did not work and never was able to get them replaced.
Yeah, so I've had good luck with them.
But
I've had 3 of them. You know,
I own 8 SKR boards.
Do you have any 1.3s?
Yes, I do.
Are you
So like on my giveaway, these are all ones I purchased myself, or one of them on like, you know, when they have their Facebook things, right? I don't keep anything for myself practically. So all the stuff on for when I do my giveaway is that, you know, I did on my Ender 5 Plus, I did a whole walkthrough from literally cutting apart the chassis to all the code and stuff. I went Chris W's channel.
That's a
to learn
1.4.
it.
I got 2 1.4s right here.
So I'm total rookie, and it's my most popular video. It's
if you want a 1.3, I'll need to pull it out of one of the printers behind me. But I can do it. I can swap it out for a 1.4.
So most people will replace the board for going 32-bit to have it silent, right? So
more features, linear advance.
Features. So they talk it. Basically, it's called future-proofing your machine, right?
Yep.
Because you'll have more memory. You'll have usually silent drivers, which is 2208s and 9s
and higher.
Yeah.
2208 and higher.
And then you have sensorless homing and all this other stuff that you can do.
I never got that.
Limit switches. So when you replace the board, you want to spec it out correctly. Some of them are plug and play, like for the CR6 SE that I showed you. I didn't have to do anything. Big Tree Tech, that's a direct replacement board. I didn't have to do anything to it. So,
yeah, the Ender series, they have what they call the E3 dip and the E3 non-dip and all that. Those are all drop-in replacements. But you can also go with like an EZR board from TH3D, and it's the same thing.
Yeah. And actually, TH3D, Tim is great. He goes through. He does his tutorials. Ask Tim anything at like 1 p.m. daily almost.
Yeah, he does.
So, I mean, he is a young local guy from here, and just north of me from Chicago in Indiana. So he's
but like the others who, like Rakaki and others, there are times he will say something in a way that is just like, really, dude, you didn't need to say it that way.
Yeah.
It's not even that he's saying something.
He had to have a cool down
attitude while saying it. He has gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah, he had to actually have a cool down video where he cooled himself down, and he's actually been honestly a lot better.
Honestly, ever since he got rid of and pawned off all of his customer service on employees and not touched it, that's what had his.
Because he would call him out because people. Well, you can tell he would get the product back. He'd be like, "Dude, you just like scraped a screwdriver across it, assembling it. You want me to replace your board?" I mean, he called them out, and of course, customers are always right, and they're like, "No, I received the product that way."
He got too passionate about his product.
Yeah.
And what's worse is some of those times he did replace the product still.
Yeah, and the customer was still angry.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Tim. If you're like one of us and you go, "Hey Tim, I screwed this up. I need another one,"
you'll get it.
He'll just send it to you.
It'll be in the mail the next day.
If you're one of those people that says, "I screwed it up," how much is it going to cost to replace it? You'll just get it in the mail the next day. You won't even But if you go, "Oh, it's all your fault," and there's obvious, I'll never forget one, and I don't blame him for posting this. That the guy literally says, "I plugged my 12 or my 24 volt whatever into my 12 volt unit, and it blew up. It's your fault."
Yeah, that's.
I mean, literally. It's the email is more than that. But if you read the email, the guy literally says, "I plugged 24 volts into a unit that's made for 12 volts. It's all your fault."
Having worked customer service.
Oh yeah. background. She
Yeah.
She worked customer service for Nintendo.
For who?
And
Oh.
Simply Safe, which is a Wi-Fi home security system.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did de-escalations for Simply Safe, but only over the phone.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Are you really?
Well,
Yes.
you someone else who's the same age.
How old
Yeah,
are you?
so-
Noah?
I am 44.
Yep.
Well, am I the oldest person
Canada
here?
Generators and Maplin Electronics.
I'm only
And
42.
yeah, I was a manager of
Yeah,
both stores. And
Tripod, I think that Llama's got you beat for age, dude. I'm just throwing that out there.
How old do you think I am?
Llama might be a little older.
At least I'm not the only youngest person here.
Come here, Butters.
If I shave, I'll look like I'm
nail
under
clipping
40.
time.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not allowed to shave.
and my wife just said, "Hell no."
I'm not allowed to shave normally. My wife let me shave just recently, only because I was having an acne issue from all the new fast food I started eating recently.
I thought you were going to say from the mask. So
No, yeah, well, partly the mask as well. But when I shave, I get carded
yeah, I would
every
too.
time.
I'm-
Every time.
I'm so sick of it.
No, I would say that I get carded when I shave, but it's been
He just looks like meatloaf.
But
it's
what's
been over a
hilarious,
decade since I've shaved.
when I get carded, they freak out about my age. But when I was 16, I never got carded.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I'll
could
be
walk
later.
into I could walk into a liquor store, buy 151 right then and there, and walk out, no question.
Yes, yeah. So I'll be
By the time
47
I turned
next month.
14. I never got carded. I had
47.
a beard when I was 14.
Oh,
I
and how old are
was
you,
a
Lama?
12.
Taking shots on one chased with tea sweetened with sweetened.
So
I
we're
was
talking about
always-
drivers and stuff. This is kind of a visual representation.
Good point. Yes.
So
Hang
this
on.
is
Yeah,
so,
again, you won't ever see that.
It's gonna make you big.
in a
Yeah.
movie.
so these are what drivers look like. They're a little bit different now, but they're pretty much the same form factor. So you're gonna have boards that have them replaceable. They'll have little pins.
Yep.
You'll have some that are soldered onto the board. So all of the ones over here are ones that are soldered onto the board.
Yeah, and
And
quite honestly,
what we're talking about is a stepper driver. What it is,
Yes.
it's the control board that sends the signal to the stepper and tells it to move.
Ah,
so-
okay.
so honestly, when you build your machine, you're gonna probably get a driver that's you want, and you not ever touch it again. Yeah. So
Well, and since you're getting a Prusa Mini, she's not even going to have to deal with any of this until.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm also an unemployed college kid, so yeah.
Yep. Oh, which reminds me, if anybody out there has remote work that can be done over the internet, there you
or
go.
what-
Especially
Customer
if-
service, anything.
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah, so I got this for my Octoprint. I got the Big Tree Tech 5-inch.
I've got a
So-
3.5 I might be selling for anyone that.
Well, the 3.5.
No.
No, this is just for Octoprint. It's not the. It's not the.
Oh, the TFT.
I do, but I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got a 7-inch display for the Pi.
yeah. Oh, and I do have though is the. I went. So what you were talking about, Tim? I got the. I went with the 5-inch one instead of the 3.5 for the next. So usually what people will do is replace the display too when they upgrade their board. So
With one of
mine-
these.
Ah,
Yeah. So that's the 3.5, right, Zolan?
Yes, this is 3.5. I have a bigger one in the case underneath.
Yeah. So Big Tree Tech does a really good job with their displays. So
I hate it. I actually took it.
you did.
I went back to my stock Ender one.
Okay. So I've been a fan because
but I do everything through Octoprint.
yeah. So that's
everything.
why I went. With the I'm gonna do Octoprint myself, but with these is that you can have a touch screen and a classic Marlin display. So you can actually it's a hybrid.
I can't stand touchscreens. I find them more annoying than they are useful.
Yeah,
And that's how you can tell he's old.
And actually, Llama
I am old.
with my Ender 5 Plus, I use the classic Marlin more than the touchscreen.
Yeah. One
I
thing I
found
do
myself
like
liking
is
it better.
I like the new Big Tree Tech that does both. That's got like the RGB backlighting. I think
That's
that
what these are.
looks cool. It's
That's what these
absolutely
are.
pointless and doesn't make it any better, but it looks cool.
Yeah, and the thing is In my garage,
Mama.
What?
I'll show you again. It still has your analog knob.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Oh,
use
that's
the
one of the ones
touchscreen.
that's got both. No, I've seen some that are touchscreen too. That are.
Yeah,
This is a touchscreen. This is both. This is both. It does both.
Yeah, no, that's just a
Guys.
regular graphics one, right? That's
How come nobody noticed? How come nobody noticed my printers are actually printing right now and one just finished a print?
Not
How come
approved.
nobody's noticing this? You
You
guys notice when they sit there like
Because that's
this?
normal for a 3D printer to do, and it's weird.
No. He's
for
pointing
Dan,
this out.
it's a success story.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I was thinking
It's
about
like
doing what
you
Lama
notice
said.
none of my printers are running right now, so that's why. And I have taken your place for this moment. That's why.
Dude, Dan, I threw a 0.6 Bridgemaster on my stream drive just because, and was sitting around bored, just like, hey, I'm gonna print this thing, and like it would be done in an hour, and I'm like, okay.
Oh,
What else can I print?
Vikings brought up a point. You could have pre-recorded that from somebody else's stream. That may not even be your printers.
Hey, Llama left, but I was gonna hook up the RGB to my garage RGB lighting.
You ready? Watch.
Yeah. No, I was just pointing out that I've seen they have a touchscreen one now that's got like the border of it all LED.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that one only has the knob.
Yes.
That's just
My-
a full graphic display.
Both of my Big Tree Techs are touch screens and they have the knob, but they do not have the RGB lighting edging.
Right.
Yeah, because I was
That
gonna.
is RGB though, right? That one you just pulled up?
Yes, they are full color, but I hate RGB. I disable it on everything.
See, I think it's
Because
the backlighting's kind of cool.
if I wanted to be in a gay discotheque, I just go to a gay discotheque.
Well, here's the thing I like about it is you can set it up supposedly where.
And
while
before
it's
anybody
moving-
says it, I don't have an issue with gay discotheques. I've actually gone to them. So, anyways,
I like the idea that you can code the RGBs to tell you what the printer's doing. It's
Yeah, when it gets hot, it's red.
It's red
Yeah,
when it's
cool down.
warming up. It's blue when it's cold. It's green while it's whatever.
this light bulb, if I get a thermal temp, it'll turn red.
Yeah.
Because it's all my printers with Octoprint are tied into my OpenHab.
Other than that, the screen is just there so I can look at it and go, okay, it's printing, and then look
Yeah,
away.
so how many here are doing Octoprint, and then we can explain to her if she doesn't know what Octoprint is.
I'm doing Octoprint and Clipper.
Okay, next.
Let me share
Shane?
my screen.
Repetier server.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you had to go above.
Yeah.
No, I got Repetier on that and Octoprint on that.
Okay.
Double.
We know Justin's running it.
Yep, here's my
Octoprint
screen
and
of
Prince of
Octoprint.
Mini.
Okay, so Dirty Bag is running Octoprint. Andrew?
With the Prusa Mini, which matters for her.
No.
The time that I ran Octoprint, it lost power
Oh, crap. I hit the wrong one.
Andrew runs SneakerNet.
and faulted out, and it basically made my hot end turn to butter. It glowed red hot. It shot it right up, and I don't know how the hell it did it. It had safety code in it, but it like switched off, switched back on, but got stuck on heating code, and it just took it up to red hot. And I mean, literally,
So
if
Andrew?
I hadn't noticed it, yeah.
I actually have, since remember I said I had mine tied into my home automation, my OpenHab. If my printer temp runs off and the thermal protection doesn't kick in by at least 15 C, my OpenHab will turn the power off to all my printers.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I'm paranoid, and my day job is designing monitoring.
all right, so Zolan, why don't you explain to her what this is? Because we kind of all jumped and you're sharing your screen.
It's not my
That's
screen.
my screen.
It's a
actually.
good
not my
segue.
screen.
It's Justin.
Not mine. That's Justin.
That's my screen.
Oh, sorry,
Since I
Justin.
have an
Octoprint.
iteration of it up, I might as well show it.
Yeah.
Octoprint, very useful. You can have folders for all your files. It gets better.
Okay, so Justin, go to a high level. What it's for, what the printer cannot do, and what you can do remotely with it, stuff like that.
This remotely allows you to control your prints. If you're not at your printer and something happens, you can stop it, start prints. I use it a lot when my wife's home from work and I'm at work and I need to start a print after she's cleared very nicely.
You can hook up a camera to it to monitor.
Hook up a camera to it. I don't do that because I use different cameras. Wise cams, Dan. You can monitor your temperatures. When you heat up a printer, you can actually see a graph of the temperatures.
Yeah.
So that's its goal, but it's actually going to heat up, and you'll be able to see. You can see the little things. You can see if something's going wrong. A little bit easier.
Yep.
Than.
It also can organize all your STLs that you're going to print, so you can put them in little folders and stuff, and it sends them over USB to the printer.
Yeah. So it's
you can control your printer.
It turns your printer into a Wi-Fi printer. Is basically.
Yep. And there's plugins for your.
It's the poor man's duet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That I've heard of.
I do have a duet, so I can show that off as well if you want.
Yeah.
You can also send commands.
Same here.
Once you learn G code.
I got rid of my duet.
C and send commands and
What? Huh? I'm right here.
You know, you can see details on your printer. Like you can see all the little important things on how the printer prints.
And there's a whole bunch of plugins that you could do on here too.
So, on my Discord, that printers channel of mine that every now and then will start dumping out things.
Yes.
That's coming from Octoprint.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was a bot that you had specifically made.
It is a bot. It's not one I made because the person who made the Discord plugin for Octoprint actually made it.
Cool.
And I have it running on all my printers, and I also have OctoFarm, which is a controller that can control all the Octoprint instances. And for Prusa, which I don't have, you have this.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can. Oh yeah. So Prusa, on one of my printers, and it's not going to matter for yours, but as you get further into this, you can do a thing called they call it the Nylock bed mod. It allows you to modify each corner, which allows you to tune your bed for very, very flat, perfect adhesion. But for your printer, it's not a big deal. It's just something you can use in the future. You can also see how not flat your bed is, which
it'll give you a 3D view of how bad it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's which one?
Here.
This one.
Look at that.
There you go.
This is not my bed.
I was gonna say, Justin.
Justin, that kind of looks like mine.
Yeah, it could be. Who knows?
You see some horror stories of people like, oh my gosh, this is my bed, and
if anybody tells you to crank your little twist knobs all the way down, flip them off and walk away.
Yeah.
Because that is how you inverse taco your bed.
That'll choose your bed right out.
Yep, you'll take the bed and go.
I replaced the springs in mine with silicone standoffs.
Yep.
And I haven't been happier. So
yeah, I've got some on one printer and it's amazing.
Yeah,
Did you get the movable ones or the really solid ones?
No, they're squishy.
Yeah,
I don't go with.
That's what I want to try. I haven't tried those yet.
Yeah, I did a video on it. 5 upgrades for $50, and that was one of them. And it was honestly, it was $10 for for the 4-pack, and it's oh my god, I will put it on every printer that has leveling screws.
So Justin, Viking thinks that that's what your printing bed looked like after the fire.
Oh, wrong printer.
After the fire.
Wrong printer.
Oh, Justin has a problem going through nozzles and printers.
No, not anymore. I have mosquitoes. I'm solving that issue.
Yeah, when I first met Justin, he was going through nozzles left and right.
No, hot.
So when you get a cheaper printer like the Ender 3 or a Soval or whatever else, the bed that they ship is too thin, in my opinion. It's just and it's also from a rolled sheet. Yes, it's also from a rolled sheet, so it's not going to be perfectly flat. And then when you heat it up, it gets even worse. Yeah. So what some people have done, which I had to do on this one behind me, is I took Kapton tape, however you say it,
Kapton,
and
second time,
and I put it underneath the build surface to level it out better. because no matter how much I played with those knobs, there was nothing I could do. It
Or-
looked like that image.
You can also put glass on it.
That's what I was gonna say. The
No,
cheapest
but
is
glass-
Not on the Prusa.
Glass is an amorphous solid, so over time it will flow to match your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glass is liquid. It will
Yep.
flatten it out, but if you clip it, glass will blow too. If it's a
Yep.
bubble up.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually my Creality bed. The first time I damaged the glass Creality plate I had was because I was using binder clips like everybody else was.
Oh, I hate that. You buy a $500 printer and they still come with stupid binder clips. You gotta be kidding
What the hell is that noise?
That
Is
is
that Andrew's
Andrew's.
heater again?
Yep.
And that's
Holy
Andrew's
crap, that's
thing.
loud.
Yep.
Well, my
That's what
phone, it's because it's on the camera mic, because my missus got my omnidirectional mic, so it's picking up everything.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't like about this is what Andrew's doing is you get you put the 3M adhesive down, the here. Sometimes it just does not want to come off. Like what you have to take the whole bed assembly off. You have to. Don't ever take it off.
If you
without
want-
taking off.
Yep.
An
Like-
original rubbish printer bed, the best ones you'll ever get, and I know this because I worked for them for 5 years, is G-Tech. That little piece of metal is their bed, right? This is what happens when you over tighten.
Yep.
Right, see this? That is the deflection of someone over tightening it. And
Yep.
if I go down the entire line,
Mhm.
right, it looks
Yeah,
like it's
first
straight
taco.
until you have a look. And it's not straight. The actual edges on each side
Mhm.
are all warped. What
Yep.
means that the glass they put on it is thick. Yeah, nice and thick. But it's nothing, because once this bed heats up
Mhm.
to the point of where the glue on this is just slightly malleable, the entire bed peels away. And that's what you get. That is literally how flexible the beds are on these
Which
cheap
means
rubbish
you
beds.
have no heat transference from
I
the heat
love
bed
it that-
to the glass.
I love it that Andrew has the G-Tech for that demonstration. Look how weak those springs are too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's just garbage.
Springs are rubbish. I mean,
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
garbage.
But these are all things that you should not have to worry about with your Prusa Mini.
Yeah.
And if you do, they will replace it.
Yeah, I mean, I did a review on G-Tech. They sent me a printer. I do honest reviews. I don't think I'm going to get another printer.
You will not.
You.
the only good printer that
I
I have had from
guarantee.
G-Tech is the A10M, and not
Yeah.
because it's because the way it was built, because it's basically an Ender 3 replica,
Yep.
and not because of the extruder arms, because both of them cracked within a month. It is because the print quality that actually came off of it, and I've had an Ender 3 and I gave it away. This one printed absolutely amazing for 2 months until all these problems started arising. So it just goes to show how when they cheap out in the manufacturing side,
Yep.
it affects the end user. And the problem is trying to get any support after you've bought that printer is non-existent.
Yeah, if it's a Chinese company, your odds of getting help and fixing the issue that they caused is almost nil.
Okay, so I did the A10T. Okay, I just
Oh,
had to
no.
dig these
Oh,
out
no.
of my.
Do you
So-
have junk drawer that they were in?
All right, yeah, because I have a whole scrap thing, right? So I was already done. So what? Going off of what was said here.
Yeah.
I did what was called a blend. This is 3 colors for this printer, right? So I printed this at night, right? And I was like, okay, I don't see colors, right? So this dog right here. I guess I pulled it out of this crap thing, so that's not the print. So I looked, I was like, okay, it came out pretty good. But then in the morning, I looked at more. This
Oh,
line is my
wow.
fault. That line is my fault.
Oh, okay.
So don't, yeah. So the color blend is absolutely awesome, right?
Yeah.
So then I did red, white, and blue. I said, okay, let's go do patriotic, right? Look at this. Watch this.
Where's the blue? Where's the white? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you look under the ears, you can see how it kind of color blends. So now I was like, oh, let me get it.
So what did I miss? How are you getting those colors?
So it is a nozzle that has 3 coming in, and it can
Oh,
actually
yeah.
It's a
it can actually
so
blend
the
them
diamond-
in print.
So this is doing assigning the layers, right? So this will you can see how right here it's actually starting to switch the layers, right? And then it kind of bleeds. Okay, so you could do. They have their own little slicer that you take your G code out after you go through Cura. Then you say, okay, you import it into their GTEX slicer, and you can say, okay, align 100. Okay, I want to stop being this color. Then 200, this color, and then the rest. Then we'll switch it. So then I said, okay, now it's time to actually assign colors through Cura, and you have to have what's called a waste area. I have on my review, I go through all of this. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this lizard, right? It's supposed. This is supposed to be blue,
Hey, Ryan.
and then white. And when it was dark, it looked like it was squishing okay. I said, I was wasting 20 millimeters to purge the nozzle of filament. I said, okay, wait, I got to bump this up to 40. And it still wasn't doing it well. So to go back off what you would say, now look at this. Look at these lines. This actually came out really, really good. And but the eyeballs, they're supposed to be white. And actually there's a red bleed in it. And this was purging 60 millimeters of filament, and it still could not get. And trust me, this is red, like a pinkish color. It's coming up white here a little bit, but it is a pink. And
when you move in the light, you can see it.
Yeah, I do see a bit of pink, and honestly, it reminds me of the back of my phone. This is the Google Pixel and not pink.
So this actually came out fantastic, except for like the bed is so small that the purge, it's called a purge block, has to be so massive it would eat up too much of the bed space.
Yeah,
that's the
we
problem.
got some purge blocks. Hold on.
Don't drop
Dan
that.
just left.
Don't drop that.
What is that?
Is a palette.
Oh.
Is it the Palette 2 Pro or is it just the Palette 2?
Yeah, there's the palette.
2 Pro S.
2 Pro S. Oh.
Yeah, so that does what this. So this had this printer, the GTEC that Justin or Andrew was talking about, has 3 extruders on it, and they're built like shit.
Yep.
When you go to change the filament, you feel like you're gonna break it putting them in. And honestly, Andrew, I thought that it didn't even have the levers on it when I was first putting it together. I thought I had to feed it through the gears. And turn the gears. I'm like, okay.
Maui or Maui, however you say it one more time.
Moai?
Moai. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is honestly it's awesome to do this, but you waste so much filament. I wasted more filament making this than it was worth.
So for the Prusas, I don't know if they have it for the Mini yet, but there's a company called Big Brain 3D. So when you start to get into multicolor filaments and you get something like a palette, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do it without completely changing your hot end out, or doing it by hand. They make a side purge system that does little tiny dots of filament instead of a huge purge block. And you can actually save some of your filament by doing that and by doing your purge inside infill.
Yeah, so I think the problem with the GTEC is it didn't retract the filament far enough. Because it's all going through the same nozzle. So if the more expensive ones will have individual nozzles, so you don't have to have that big of a purge area. It will usually just purge it enough just to and swipe it off, right? You'll have a swipe off area. But yeah, this I mean you can see how crisp it is. I mean it did a really, really great. If it wasn't for the build quality of the machine, I would have given it a better review.
So it is 9:03. I am way past my bedtime.
Not spinning one up.
So I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. But before I do, does anybody want to pick up and take off from here, or are we just going to call it an evening?
I was just going to show a couple purge blocks.
Purge.
Literally wasted filament and one of my number one favorite prints.
That is cool.
Never done.
That is wicked.
This is black marble and white marble from Atomic. And I also was going to quickly talk about filament. I recommend printed solid Jesse filament if you're going to do PLA.
Money.
So,
Money.
Now look at these purge blocks. Okay, so see what Justin's showing you?
This is the purge block for this. If I go weigh it, these weigh the same, if not more, on the purge block.
How much between switching did you have to purge out?
What do you mean?
So to get this, it was 60 millimeters.
Yeah, I don't remember. This is when I was running the MMU2.
And that doesn't look like 60 millimeters between each thing.
Yeah.
No. If I go weigh these, which I'm not going to weigh them now, they're about the same weight. And then when you get to the pallet, this is heavier than the print. And this is literally just trash.
Okay.
No, it is
You
not.
can melt it in an oven and make it into
Okay,
things.
here, switch me over real quick.
Chopping boards.
So we have found that there is somebody out there who actually made a clock out of his purge block. Oh, wow, that is an interesting purge block.
Yes, look at that. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, wow, that looks pretty cool.
That looks better than the print.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all of
Here's
this.
some really cool multi-material prints right here.
Hang on. You're not up and big right now, Justin.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I took over.
Tripod.
Okay, now you are.
Of course.
Now you are.
So here is the 5-color benchy.
Oh, cool.
Ah.
Oh, so that
blues.
benchy is meant for multicolor.
Yes.
Yep.
So you could actually break it all up
Mhm.
and assign colors to each of them and then do a reassemble. That's how it works in Kira. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is again
wow.
MMU, but the waste blocks just killed me.
Massive. Yeah,
Oh my God.
because and the thing is you got to test it out for that printer.
Here's a failed multi-material print on the
Well,
pallet.
and that's actually the worst part. Every multi-material print you do is going to be slightly different based on whatever printer you're using, based on the humidity, based on the material. So
I've
if you're
got
like
an
using
amazing.
if you're running say G-Tech filament with 3D fuel with Jesse, all those could have different print temperatures, and a lot of the multi-material setups cannot do that.
The G-Tech can assign temperatures, actually not G-Tech, but the Kira. I assigned my Kira profile because I had 3 brands of filament, so I had to, So Zolan's 100% right. So because I had to tweak each of one first I had to try each of them separately.
Yep. I remember that thing.
See, my
Justin?
multicolored prints is amazing. See,
You need to put googly eyes on your guy.
Yeah, right? And it's grey filament, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's
And my
this,
Rose, of course.
and then it's paint, because I will not do multicolor prints. And the reason for it is I find it a waste. Why waste almost 1 kg of filament in a purge block for a 2 kg
Actually,
print?
Thanks to Brian Vines, was it Brian Vines or was it Chet? Chet, maybe. Using Kira 4.8, I have discovered with some tweaks, I can do a multi-material print, and then instead of doing a purge block, I print something else, and it's just nothing but a purge.
Print. Yeah, waste
So
print.
then, no, not a waste print, because then I can
Waste
print something functional where it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Right? That's true. Prototypes.
Yep. And that's helping me get more into it.
So you bailing out, Zolan?
I know Zolan.
Yeah, I got to bail out. It's 9:07. I'm normally asleep in another hour, and I still have to eat dinner.
Good thing is we
So,
still have the green room.
And it's my homework time, so.
So for those who don't know,
Hey, Brian's on. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Speak of the devil, and yes, Brian. Thank you. It was a Chep video. Brian Vines' channel and Chep. I highly suggest you start following.
Yes.
Especially Brian Vines actually both of them. They both do electronics as well.
Yep.
And another thing, really, if you get a YouTube channel or something, let us all know so you can come in. But
She
not only
does
that,
Twitch, by the way.
it will show you
audiobooks
from where you started from to where you are going to be in a couple of months' time. That's the best thing that you can see. People will learn a lot within a very short period of time, but then they start perfecting on what they've learned. What means that a lot of other people can then pick up what you started doing and then transfer it into what they're doing.
Yep.
So it's always good.
Tripod, you actually brought up a good point. Besides the IT stuff that she's done, she's also doing audiobook readings and voice acting.
Nice.
So if you need any voice work, There you go.
Yeah.
So is somebody going to continue streaming?
Nope.
We've got a Twitch link.
Yeah,
Uh,
throw them out.
yeah. One moment, I'll grab
Are
it.
you going to start a stream,
So
Justin?
while
Pop it
she's
into the
getting
private chat, and I'll put it into the YouTube chat.
while she's
Okay.
getting that going, War Hockey is currently streaming, so some people are going ahead and moving over to there. By the way,
Wow.
I think this is the first time Brian's ever been in my chat, so awesome. Anyways,
Yeah, you should feel special because he hasn't ever joined one of my live streams. Brian.
Everyone's looking
Three-
at Brian now.
Hello, my 3D printing friends.
Warcocky's not streaming.
oh, I just saw somebody say he was moving over there.
Yeah.
Cartel streaming.
Yeah, so there's lots of things to get into.
Yep.
For it. So, the community is really strong. You have open chats like this where people will throw up a stream. Dan's really well known for it, but sometimes we don't, as you see, we get off topic. I think everyone here has a sense of ADD, which is kind of normal, I think.
Yes.
So, but I'm not an expert in
Discord,
anything. But I
sorry.
know a lot of a little. So,
What am I looking for in Discord? Oh, he's streaming on Discord.
Yes,
Okay.
he's hanging
Uh,
out.
Yeah, they're just playing
but
games.
Zolan, I'll ping you on Twitter when I do that live feed stream with Prince. So
Cool.
So for the androids. So
Awesome. So
Sam
a
Press.
couple follow-up things. Back on the Octoprint real quick, you need to go follow Gina on Twitter.
Okay.
She is the developer of Octoprint, and she is an amazing person, and she will help you out if you have any questions.
She'll probably hire you too.
Yep. And also, Autodrop, aka Mike, he's been working on some neat things as well. So, and I believe Autodrop is so. Everybody who's a mod, throw your channels out in the chat real quick. So that way she has them and everybody else has them. This is a promotion stream, so please promote yourself.
Yeah.
Other than that, I am going to say goodnight, and I hope you all have a good evening. I will be online streaming again probably at some point in the week. I am going to be doing some more FPV Junkyard videos real soon. I also am going to be working with Greg. We're thinking maybe we haven't set a time yet, but we're going to do a 3D printing for quads stream. So we're going to be talking about using TPU, using PETG, printing frames and designing them and things of that nature. And other than that, have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to start a